If you order an iced coffee at Starbucks in LA, they will hand out the coffee for you only, and there's no straw on the side table either. You have to ask for one, which is free, but you have to consciously ask for one. By not offering the straws, I do remember to bring my own bamboo straws after I had to ask a few times. Our behaviors and actions can be manipulated by the environments and settings. And today we will talk about nudge, how individuals' decision-making can be improved through choice architecture. Richard Taylor, the Nobel Prize winner in economics, popularized the concept in his book with Cass Sunstein in 2009. The foundation of nudge is our do thinking system, where we have our automatic system 1 and reflective system 2. When I'm driving from home to work, most days I use my automatic system 1 and I can listen to the radio or fight with my husband over the phone. I won't do that on a snowstorm day in Minnesota where I put all my attention on the road. Nudge is to improve our decisions, especially our system 1 automatic thinking, through adaptive designs. Note here that our choice should not be limited. Nudge is on a condition to maintain the freedom of choice. Setting a default option for people to ask for straws is a nudge, while not providing straws at all for customers is not a nudge. Nudge is designed based on our human nature. First, as human, we make mistakes. We have to understand that error happens, so we can design the system to avoid errors. For instance, make the gasoline and diesel nozzles different. Design different shapes of connectors. Add a reminder. You might have forgotten to attach a file when you use the word attachment in your email. With long working hours and stressful working conditions, it is very much likely for nurses to make mistakes when they distribute medications. The practice of unit dose dispensing assisted with the barcode medication administration system, where small dose is packaged and there is a mechanism to double-check to scan the barcode every time, can effectively reduce errors. Smart infusion pumps were also developed to set up drug infusion protocols with predefined limits and emits alarm when the dose is out of range compared to the parameters. Second, we need to understand the power of inertia of us human, which can be harnessed. A lot of our decisions are mindless, a lot more than we expect. That's why your employer is trying to set up the best default option for your retirement plans and health benefit plans in case you miss the annual open enrollment deadlines. You can still have the most beneficial choice. Default setting is a powerful way to help us. To prevent obesity in Western societies, there's ergonomic designs that the desks can adjust the height. But when it's my choice, I will still always prefer sitting down. A research conducted in a governmental organization where employees share desks, researchers had an intervention to change the desk from sitting to standing height. Employees seem to forget they are still standing. Their standing time significantly increased, even after 2 weeks and 2 months of the intervention. We checked our emails, surfed the web, and checked on social media or sports news constantly. We can be nudged by changing the default in our email app, turning off the notifications and reducing the synchronization frequency to avoid distraction pop-ups. Feedback and information. Feedback can also be a critical tool to nudge our behavior. Research showed a simple, non-directional educational message on the risk of ionizing radiation appended to the CT report reduced the subsequent numbers of CT significantly in teaching hospitals in the UK. This type of non-directional nudge intervention is cheap and easy to implement, and effective in modifying clinician use of CT. One fact to be noted here is that positive phrases are more effective than negative phrases. Compare these two phrases. Please don't remove the petrified wood from the park in order to preserve the natural state of the petrified forest. Versus, Many past visitors have removed the petrified wood from the park, changing the natural state of the petrified forest. The positive injunctive norm is more effective than the negative informative one. Priming. In these messages, you also prime the positive messages. Our automatic system is influenced significantly by the primes. By asking, "Are you going to vote?" increase the probability of voting behavior by 25%. Facilitating the formation of a voting plan can increase turnout even more. Researchers asked Yale seniors about tetanus vaccine, which helped more students get it. But after forcing them to look at the schedule and plan the route, the number increased a lot more. Same as in an organization, implementation intentions can result in a more likely attainment of the relevant goals. Third, humans are social animals, and we are influenced by peer pressure. We care about where we are among our peers. College kids reduce their drinking when they know 81% of Montana college students have 4 or fewer alcoholic drinks each week. Teenagers smoke less when they know 70% of Montana teens are tobacco-free. We reduce our energy consumption when we know 60% of our neighbors are doing better than us. Nurses wash their hands more when they know their washing behaviors are recorded and compared to other departments. The "Don't Mess with Texas" brought the pride of young people in Texas and significantly reduced the littering on the road. Number 4, it's hard to make complex choices. When we have cognitive limitations in the process to make complex decisions, we still need guidance. For instance, a foundation for the complex choice is to understand mappings to link the choice with welfare. It's hard to choose a phone plan, a credit card, because there are so many good deals. But at the same time, there are many pitfalls waiting for us, the hidden charges, the unaware long-term commitment, etc. Government regulation required the disclosure practice on all fees, gave us the possibilities to compare and evaluate to make better choices. Same practice can be used for employees when they have to choose among too many different health plans. HR can provide a complete list for comparisons on top of putting a best default option. Collaborative filtering is also a great way to help. Right now, technologies maximize the possibilities of collaborative filtering with the algorithm. The algorithm knows what apartments you like to rent, what movies you watch on Sunday mornings, what color of swimming pants you could purchase. This has to be done through the key factor, knowledge sharing. It's also the key for success in innovations for most companies. Organizations come up with all sorts of nudge practices to help with knowledge sharing. For instance, leave one printer on the first floor to force interactions. Micro kitchens were introduced by Google to increase knowledge transfer among knowledge workers in an easy and pleasant way. Number 5, in contrast to economic nature, human decisions are not something a free competition can solve, but sometimes incentives help. A competitive consulting firm needs to start promoting more collaborations. Incentives on collaborative projects, mentoring, and team building activities could help. Overall, the empirical literature on nudging has established that choice architecture technologies can succeed in changing behavior in many managerial and policy-relevant settings. Now think about your own workplace. What can you or your employer do to nudge for better decisions? Thanks for watching.